Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi! Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
We are watching the power of the unhinged left fake news media, the deliberate lies coming out of the mouths of politicians who either don't take time to find out the truth or don't care about the truth and are lying about it openly. We are seeing the lengths that people will go to protect their peculiar institution of illegal immigration. And you see it in mainstream outlets. You see it on television, on what used to be formerly great television networks. I'm not saying great because they had an axe to grind one way or another. Great because they used to at least care about the truth a little bit. They don't anymore. And all of that, you heard Tricia McLaughlin. Thank you, Carlos. He brought that soundbite to my attention. It wasn't even on our planned list today. And so we thought we'd lead off the show with it and let you hear it. We have others that will back that story up, but if you go to Axios today, ICE detention of child puts new focus on Trump team's tactics. Trump team's tactics. ICE agents' detention of a 5-year-old boy in Minneapolis this week has inflamed an already tense debate over immigration authorities' tactics and put a spotlight on the unknown number of children being scooped up when their parents are arrested. Driving the news, they say, images of a boy wearing a small backpack and a light blue stocking cap fueled angry speculation in the Twin Cities that ICE was detaining children as bait to catch parents wanted for alleged immigration violation. So, if you listen to these people, ICE is somehow getting the children away from their parents. They just go and the parents are not around, they get the children and then they use the children as bait to try to lure the parents. Federal officials rejected those claims Thursday and alleged the boy was detained by ICE agents after he was left behind when his father, Adrian Alexander Cornel Ares, fled officers who were trying to arrest him. The episode was a reminder of the growing number of children, likely hundreds of them, who wound up in family detention centers with their parents during President Trump's push to deport immigrants, illegal immigrants. Let's stop right there for one moment. A few years ago, the left was in a fury because they claimed that parents were being separated from their children. How dare parents be separated from their children and held in immigration detention centers without their parents? And that was the cause of fury. And they pretended that this only happened when Republican presidents were involved. Trump during the first term. It goes back to George W. Bush. And never was the word Bill Clinton, never were the words the ACLU, never were any of those things Flores decision brought into it. So for those of you who don't know some of the history of this, let me just remind you of how this all came to be. It used to be when picking up illegal immigrants, that their children were brought along with them to detention centers. Liberal Democrats had a cow. They claimed that children were being jailed, prisoners, being held in concentration camps, and the like. Outrageous allegations. So, back during the Bill Clinton years, I say Clinton because that's the way some Northeast liberals pronounce his name, Clinton. During the Bill Clinton administration, the ACLU jumped all over this, and with Bill Clinton, they came to a judicial decision, never law by Congress, but it was called the Flores Agreement. Flores. And what it said was you couldn't keep children in these detention centers past, and I don't have it in front of me, I believe it was 30 days. It's a number of days, might not be 30, but it was a set period of time. You can't keep these children in detention centers. So then, what happened? Then, the Obama administration and the Trump administration afterwards started finding places for the children to stay outside of the immigration centers. Now, while this was happening under Obama, nobody cared. Democrats didn't care. But when Trump came to office, all of a sudden, they started with their bullshit, with their stuff. They're separating the kids from their parents, which is the exact thing that liberals wanted and demanded happen. And now it became an accusation. They're separating children from their parents. Oh my, these people are so terrible. They're evil. They're separating. But there's an agreement that you liberals wanted to do this. But you're separating children from their parents. Okay, so Trump, being the compassionate one that he is, let's stop this. And so let's forget about this Flores decision stuff. Let's come up with new stuff. So now it's back to where it all started. If you get detained, you're on your way out of the country, the parents can keep the children with them. But that's not appeasing liberals. So they still argue. They're kidnapping children. They're kidnapping children and forcing them to be with their parents. So either way, you can't have it. You can't separate the children from their parents. You can't keep the children with their parents because it's wrong. There is nothing that the administration can do to enforce the law of the land that the liberals don't portray as harming children. But this only applies to illegal immigrants. Every day across this land, people are arrested for crimes. They are taken to jail. The children don't come with them. They are separated from their parents. Or parent, whoever the criminal happens to be. Or the suspected criminal. People are innocent until proven guilty. So, it doesn't matter. You've had, liberals tell us, there are disproportionate amount of black people that are put in mass incarceration. Every time they so-called mass incarcerate some black guy or some black woman and they happen to have kids, they're separated from their family. Do the Democrat parties care about these black families? Do they care about the white criminals that are separated from their little white children? No. Do they care about the people all over the United States who happen to be United States criminal citizens who are separated from their family? No, they don't give a rat's ass about them. Because this is just standard effing procedure. But let it happen to an illegal immigrant. And they have more rights than you, according to Democrats. They shouldn't be separated with their children. Okay, we want some. They should be separated from their children. How dare you kidnap the children? This is all such total 100% excrement. All of it. Every single day we get bombarded with this crap. Endlessly. You have this obnoxious column by a guy named Philip Kindicott in the Washington Post today. The abhorrent power of the photograph of a 5-year-old held by ICE. An image like this could once change history. Can one still? And he's saying the picture, and he goes along with this whole thing, it's used as bait. This is an image of universal moral urgency, akin to a small number of photographs that once upon a time had the power to change behavior away from cruelty or indifference and in the direction of basic decency. Like the 1972 napalm image of a child running naked in the streets after an attack by U.S.-backed South Vietnamese forces. And by the way, that whole story has been twisted beyond belief from what it really happened, as we learned only 2 years ago. Kevin Carter's Vulture and the Little Girl image of an emaciated and starving Sudanese child stalked by a hungry vulture is another. In the last Trump administration, a photograph of Salvadoran immigrant Oscar Alberto Martinez Ramirez and his nearly 2-year-old daughter drowned in the Rio Grande. They were coming into the country illegally. And this goes on and on and on. And the culprit, the people that are trying to defend this country, are the ones that are taking the heat for all of these lies and all of this insane level of hysteria that the left is, and their TV networks and their print agencies are trying to stir up in this country to prevent the Democrats from losing their political power by deporting people who should have never been in this country in the first place. They never show you the pictures of the dead Americans who have been gutted, raped, murdered by illegal immigrants. Those pictures never make it into the picture. They're kids that are abused, who are sexually damaged and mentally damaged for life, never make it into the picture. We don't see those pictures because they don't want you to. And when those pictures are out here, they suppress them. This is... We got to take a break.
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.